Marcus Brutus, the noblest Roman to live in times. Brutus, one of the main conspirators in William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, is initially considered a noble man by the Roman crowd due to his apparent selflessness and devotion to Rome. His honor and integrity are rooted in his belief that Caesar's increasing power poses a threat to Rome's republic. Brutus's speech at Caesar's funeral, where he justifies the assassination, showcases his rhetorical skills and reinforces his noble image. He argues that Caesar's ambition was a threat to Rome's freedom and that his actions were necessary to protect the republic. At the beginning of the play, Brutus is introduced as a noble and principled senator, respected by his peers for his integrity and wisdom. He is a strong advocate for the Roman Republic and is deeply concerned about Caesar's growing power and perceived threat to Rome's democratic institutions. Brutus's conflict begins when he is approached by Cassius, a fellow senator, who persuades him to join a conspiracy to assassinate Caesar. Brutus is initially hesitant, but ultimately agrees to participate, convinced that Caesar's death is necessary to protect Rome's freedom. Brutus's tragic flaw lies in his idealism and naivety. He believes that the assassination of Caesar will automatically restore Rome's democratic institutions and bring about a new era of peace and prosperity. However, he fails to anticipate the consequences of his actions, including the rise of Mark Antony and the eventual downfall of the Roman Republic. However, Mark Antony's subsequent speech masterfully undermines Brutus's credibility, revealing the complexities of Brutus's character. Antony's emotional appeal, repetition, and sarcasm effectively manipulate the crowd, turning them against Brutus and the conspirators. Antony's rhetorical question, "Was this ambition?" highlights the contradiction between Brutus's claims of Caesar's ambition and Caesar's actual actions, further eroding Brutus's noble image. Brutus's downfall is a direct result of his own actions. His participation in the conspiracy and his role in Caesar's assassination lead to his own demise. Mark Antony's masterful oration at Caesar's funeral, in which he skillfully manipulates the crowd against the conspirators, seals Brutus's fate. Critics argue that Brutus's nobility is rooted in his idealism and commitment to Rome, but also acknowledge the flaws in his character. His decision to join the conspiracy and assassinate Caesar, despite his initial reservations, raises questions about his moral integrity. Moreover, his underestimation of Antony's rhetorical skills and his failure to anticipate the crowd's reaction demonstrate his lack of political acumen. Harold Bloom, a renowned literary critic, notes that Brutus's nobility is a tragic flaw, a noble error. Bloom, 1998. Bloom argues that Brutus's idealism and commitment to Rome ultimately lead to his downfall. His inability to see the consequences of his actions and his failure to adapt to changing circumstances make him a tragic figure. On the other hand, critic Northrop Frye argues that Brutus's nobility is rooted in his stoic virtues. Frye, 1967. Frye notes that Brutus's commitment to reason, justice, and morality is admirable, but also limited by his own biases and prejudices. Frye argues that Brutus's failure to see the complexity of human nature and the consequences of his actions ultimately lead to his downfall. Despite these criticisms, Brutus's nobility is still acknowledged by many. His willingness to risk his own life for what he believes is the greater good of Rome demonstrates his courage and conviction. Furthermore, his introspective nature and willingness to confront his own doubts and fears showcase his intellectual honesty and moral complexity. Despite his role in Caesar's assassination, Brutus is more of a tragic hero than a villain because Brutus's motivation for participating in the conspiracy is rooted in his desire to protect Rome's democratic institutions rather than personal gain or malice. Brutus is driven by a strong sense of conviction and principle, which ultimately leads to his downfall. Brutus's idealism and naivety are classic tragic flaws which make his downfall both inevitable and heartbreaking. Brutus's emotional struggle and ultimate demise evoke a sense of pity and sympathy from the audience. Brutus's story provides a sense of catharsis, allowing the audience to experience a range of emotions, from fear to pity to relief. In conclusion, Marcus Brutus is a complex and nuanced character, driven by a strong sense of conviction and principle. His tragic flaw, idealism, and naivety ultimately lead to his downfall, cementing his status as a tragic hero. Despite his role in Caesar's assassination, Brutus's motivations, conviction, and emotional resonance make him a more sympathetic and relatable character than a villain. Ultimately, Brutus's character serves as a nuanced exploration of the human condition, highlighting the complexities and contradictions that define us all. Thank you for listening to our article. I hope it was meaningful to you. Please subscribe for more notable information.